Hi guys, it's me, Lauren Gell. Welcome back to the channel. I am so happy that you're here hanging out with me. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and follow all down below. I would greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel as I am new here. The title of today's video is going through my empties for the previous month, which obviously was September. And there's a couple things in here that I am getting rid of just for various reasons. So we're going to break it down. And yeah, I think this is a decent look at regular consumption and using up products at a regular rate. Underconsumption is such a huge trend right now, and a lot of people are confusing underconsumption or like minimalism with regular consumption because we are so used to just over consuming things, and especially in the beauty space. So yeah, I think we're just going to dive into like a practical usage of products, break it down if I would repurchase it or not, go over the total at the end, and then get on with the day. So if you're into videos like that, definitely stick around. So let's just go ahead and dive right on in. So the first one here is my Eva NYC Therapy Session Hair Mask. This is 16.9 fluid ounces and it retails for $17 or $18. On here, I have it written, oh, my bad, I have it written down as $19. This is a phenomenal hair mask. It's actually the sister brand or a sub-brand to Amika. And if you don't know what Amika is, it's like one of the best-selling brands, hair care brands at Sephora. But that's a little bit higher priced products. This, $19, you get so much product in here. It literally lasted me like probably roughly 6 months, and that is with using it on the ends of my hair, the very like bleached very bottom of my hair, just every day in the shower after I conditioned, or not every day, but every time I showered after I conditioned, and then also using it all over the mid-lengths to the ends for a deep conditioning hair treatment. So this, you get so much product in here. And if you have thick hair like me, but you have fine strands, a little bit does go a long way. Phenomenal. It smells phenomenal. It's my holy grail, and I used it up, cleaned it out. And for $19, I have no problem repurchasing it. The only thing I will say is it's like almost the size of my hand, so it's a pretty big container, but again, you get so much in it, so it's a win-win. It has argan oil, plant protein, it's cruelty-free, GMO-free, 100% vegan. There is, again, jojoba seed oil, there's vegetable proteins, there's the argan oil, there's a bunch of good things in here, and I can't get enough of it. So 10 out of 10, I recommend. I obviously will be repurchasing this. The only other hair thing in here is actually from the brand Curls. It's their Lavish Curls Moisturizer. The Second Curl Refresher Daily Leave-In Moisturizer formulated with pomegranate fruit extract, aloe leaf juice, and jojoba oil. It's proven to moisturize, detangle, and protect. So I actually got this at TJ Maxx. It was alright. It wasn't my favorite. I definitely didn't use this to refresh my curls because it was a little too oily. But I used it as a detangler, and it worked. It's fine. Like I said, I won't repurchase it again, but for $8 at TJ Maxx, I couldn't complain. It did the job. It was enough of an oily consistency that it did run through my ends and let me brush through my hair very quickly. However, I will say the nozzle on this definitely, it was terrible. It did not dispense the product evenly throughout my hair. So I actually just wound up taking the cap off and dumping some in my hand and running it through that way, and it worked just as well. So this is one that I would not repurchase. There's not a lot from this brand that intrigues me either. I will say though, I give it credit that the fourth ingredient in here is in fact jojoba seed oil, and then the fifth ingredient is aloe leaf juice. So that's pretty good. Well, actually it reads water, glycerin, polysorbate 80, jojoba seed oil, aloe leaf juice, pomegranate fruit extract, coconut fruit extract, shea butter, coconut oil, wheat germ oil, camellia, or green tea leaf extract, Anthemis nobilis flower, hydrolyzed silk sorbate? No. Silk amino acids, and then the list goes on and on. So there's a lot of great ingredients in here. Okay, so that was only hair. That was the only hair products I used up. Let's dive into skincare. The first thing I used up is my e.l.f. Skin Cleansing Melting Balm. Love this stuff. I've used it a million times over. This is actually the larger size container with, how much was it? 3.5 ounces or 100 grams. And this retails for $19 as well. Phenomenal stuff. I've used it 1,000 times. It has hyaluronic acid in it, ceramides, and peptides. And ceramides and peptides are great for skin rejuvenation, helping the skin barrier, and the hyaluronic acid in it does leave your skin a little more hydrated and it's not as stripping. So this is a really nice, gentle, but effective cleansing balm at the drugstore, at Ulta, in the inexpensive line. I don't know if you can get the larger size like at Walmart or something. I haven't found it there. They obviously sell the smaller container, which is like, what is it, 1 ounce maybe? 1.5 ounces or something like that for $11. I appreciate that they finally came out with a big one. I've been asking for it for years. Not that they listen to me, but I'm sure like the masses, they listened to their customer base and they delivered. So love this. We'll use it again. Already have another one opened up. I don't really use any other cleansing balms because I have this and I love e.l.f. So we love her. One thing I didn't like, this is the In Beauty Project Slushy Hyaluronic Acid and Bok Choy Oil Serum. Sorry if I butchered that word. It was a serum and kind of like a moisturizer in one. It was a really weird consistency. I did not like this. I think I was allergic to this. Or it could have been a combination of a couple things. So give you a little backstory. I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible because I mentioned it before. But I'm recently recovering from perioral dermatitis. Or at least some version of dermatitis. Because I had this severe breakout on the upper portion of my face. Or at least above my lip. It started from right under my nose, so I thought, oh, it's just dry skin. It then migrated all over my lip, and then it finally migrated down. And I don't know, you can kind of see this redness in here around my lip. That little black spot, that's actually just a beauty mark. Funny enough, my mom used to always try to wipe it off my face, so it might not even be a beauty mark. It could just be a permanent scar from the amount of time she tried to just scrape it off of my face, thinking it was like food or crumbs. But there's this like slight redness in here. And that is like the leftover dermatitis or breakout that's still healing. But long story short, this girl on TikTok was talking about how she recently had perioral dermatitis and it looked exactly like what I had. And she went on to talk about how nothing was fixing it in her normal routine. So she stripped her skincare routine right down to the bare bones. Cleanser and then moisturizer. And then from there, she was able to kind of dissect and add in things to help alleviate the discomfort. And when I tell you nothing was helping it, it was so annoying. I tried all of my serums. I stripped my skincare down to the bare minimum where I was just using my double cleanser with my e.l.f. cleansing balm and my First Day Beauty cleanser. And then went in with a hyaluronic acid serum, which we'll get into because I did finish that up. And then this moisturizer because I was using it prior. I went through my entire makeup collection, smelled everything, tested everything, got rid of whatever I felt like was expired, thinking that that was the issue with something in my makeup collection, when in fact, I think it might have been this. Because in the bottle, it kind of looked like it was separating, but I thought maybe that was like how it was supposed to be. But long story short, I don't think my skin liked this at all. I had high hopes for it because it was like a serum moisturizer in one. It was an airtight pump situation. And a lot of people at Sephora raved about the In Beauty Project, which is like a Korean skincare. My skin did not like it. So I think this is what initially broke my skin out. And then, by the way, this retailed for $32, not worth $32. And then something that aided in that breakout, I think, was the Glow Recipe Plum Hyaluronic Serum for deep hydration and glow. A regular fluid ounce retails for $45, so I just literally split the cost in half because this is half of a fluid ounce. So this, I would say, retails for $22 because it's half the amount of ounces compared to the full size at $45. This, I think, made it so much worse, which in theory, hyaluronic acid should have made it feel better, I would think, because it's supposed to hydrate it. This and this, I think, is the combination that broke me out, and I've been dealing with it for almost 2 months now. So needless to say, I'll probably never try anything from this brand again, and I probably won't try anything from this brand again. because I'm also finishing up the moisturizer, and it's just like for $45 for something like this in skincare, it needs to just do everything that I could ever need for my skin. And this just didn't do anything in that aspect. Like, even though I was using it during a rough time with my skin, like the bits of my face that weren't dried out and like irritated and rashy still felt like they were dehydrated after using this and the moisturizer. So this retailing for a full-size retailing for $45, this is not worth it in my opinion. I'm using a completely different brand of hyaluronic acid, and it works so much better. This was not it either. These were, I think, what broke me out. And then the last bit of skincare here is pimple patches. Let's get into it. I have this one little pimple right here. She's fine and dandy and beautiful. We love her. I've named it Jessica. She's also lived on my skin for about 3 months now. So I first bought these Hanhu extra strength blemish patches from Walmart. These were 36 stickers for $5, I think. This didn't do anything. So I was like, maybe it's because they were cheap. How about these? These are the Hero Mighty Patch Micro Point for blemishes. The early stage blemish patch hits the spot with 395 micro points, clinically tested and non-irritating. $13 for 8 little patches. Now, mind you, they're early stage. They have the micro needle in there. There's a little bit more like ingenuity going into the pimple patch itself and the construction of it, so I understand that. But these also did not get this little girl, this little guy. In all actuality, I should probably have gone to a dermatologist to get it like removed or lanced or whatever. I'm just letting nature take its course, trying to let it go through. But I also wanted to talk about the amount of packaging that goes into pimple patches is insane. So when I first bought these, it was literally just this little bag. This little bag. They came in a little like plastic sticker thingy that the little pimple patches adhered to. That was it. What is all this? And that's not even enough. Then you go into this little baggie, and then there's more. There's a whole little canister for it, basically. And then this was what the pimple patches were on. But all of this packaging for some pimple patches, it seems wasteful. I don't know if I'm ever going to use pimple patches after this. It's low-key, to me, feels like a gimmick. Let's do makeup real quick, because believe it or not, there's not a lot. First things first, my Elf Instant Lift Brow Pencil in the shade Taupe. I've used these brow pencils for years. I love them. So much so that I already have another one. Now, I'm never buying like 50 of them, but I always have one on standby because I don't ever want to run out of this. It's a $3 eyebrow pencil. We're calling this an Empty. Another thing from e.l.f. is their Squeeze Me Lip Balm in the flavor Grape. I was about to say shade, but it's a flavor. This little guy was really nice. These are a little bit thicker of a balm. I wonder if there's anything left in here. So it is a little bit thicker of a balm. The grape, like purpley tint goes away. I really enjoyed this product. I love the size of it. It was 0.21 ounces or 6 grams. And for it being grape, I'm not a fan of grape, but this wasn't that bad of a grape flavor. It wasn't like super artificial. Like, don't get me wrong, it was artificial grape, but it wasn't like overkill. You know what I'm saying? And the great thing about this size of product is that when I'm like using a flavored product like this, I find that halfway through a regular size tube of something, I'm tired of that flavor and I want something new, and then I never finish the lip balm because I buy something new. So for instance, the Milani one that I'm using and I have had for so long now and I just don't want it anymore. This is in the flavor Strawberry Lemonade. Like the flavor, like the lip balm. This has 0.45 ounces. So this is quite literally like half the size of this. And this is like the regular size of a lip balm. I love that I can get through this realistically and then move on to the next. The thing about lip balm is they're so trendy. And they're the easiest thing to make a new version of that's going to sell really easily. This was something that was meant, like, realistically to use up. It was only $4. I didn't buy this. This actually came from someone I'm no longer friends with. So using this one up specifically is great because I love the product. 2, it was rewarding to finish it. And 3, I don't have to think about that person ever again. So this little lip balm has layers. It's like an ogre that is like an onion. And if you know me, you know I'm going to quote Shrek as much as possible. Another one I used up is my One Size Until Dawn waterproof setting spray. Love this stuff. However, because my skin is drier now, I don't need to be using this. I work at Sephora, right? So I've been playing around with all the different setting sprays that we own. Wound up finding that I really like a bunch of them from Urban Decay, which I used to use Urban Decay before this. And I will say, I think moving into the colder months, I'm going to go back to something with more of like a natural finish or even hydrating. My skin's changing in the seasons, as well as breaking out because I'm 25 and getting older. So with that, I think that I'm going to leave this to be a setting spray I only use in the summertime, or at least when I go back down south. We'll definitely repurchase this in the future, just not right now. And then the last makeup item I've got here, it's not technically empty, but it's spoiled. So I'm going to call it empty because I've definitely had it for at least 3 months. This is from Il Makiage. It's the Black Card Lift, Curl, and Lengthening Mascara. I got this in Ipsy. I loved it. I didn't think I would at first, which you can go back on my past Ipsy unboxings and see that I hated this upon first impression. But once I started using it more, I actually fell in love with it. The only reason I'm getting rid of it is one, because it's old, but also I put this on the other day and it just smelled rancid. It smelled off, like something has spoiled inside of it. Oh, this retails for $29. I definitely would pick this up again. I'm tempted to see if maybe it's on sale during Black Friday this year, because I missed this already in my collection. So this was a really nice one. And then the last category is more like just kind of in between stuff. So let's break that down. First things first, I have 2 nail items, which is so fun. I feel like you never hear people going through nail products because it takes so long. But one of the first ones I went through is the Onyx Professional Tip Remover Acetone Soak Off. This is great for glitter polish, nail polish, gel polish, nail glue, and more. Removes acrylic and artificial tips quickly, and it is salon strength. I love this stuff. I'm using another one, which is still 100. I think it's just the 100% soak off, or the 100% acetone, like pure acetone. I like that one, but this, if you wear fake nails, like your acrylics and stuff, but also I do a lot of gel X nails because I just don't want to go to the salon, but I love having my nails. So any nails you have seen in past videos or nails that I have done for myself, this is the best to soak off said nails. I just love this stuff, and I got this at TJ Maxx for like $4, which you can get these at Walmart. They're so cheap. Anyways, love this stuff. You should get it. It's great. This again is such an accomplishment. This is the Blossom Cuticle Oil infused with real flowers. I think this was peach, but it's one of those really pretty like cuticle oils with the fake flowers in it. I will say in hindsight, I get that the flowers in here are aesthetically pleasing, but there's still so much product stuck on the flowers themselves. And for someone like me who likes to use up all of my product, that bothers me because I know that there's still product in here technically, but I can't get anything to come out. So I did finish this up. It was like $6, I want to say. I don't even know. Yeah, it's like $6. I will say I won't purchase this again because I actually like the one from Lights Lacquer because it has a dropper. And what I've learned is I hate cuticle oil that comes with a little wand because once you get to the bottom, I'm just dumping it out onto my nails because I can't dispense it with the brush. Couple random things again. The Dr. Teal's Sleep Spray. This is Melatonin Sleep Blend. It's lavender and chamomile essential oils. This my husband got me for Christmas because I have like really bad insomnia during my monthly. And this, I loved. He got me this. He got me the sleep balm that you can rub on like your pressure points. And then he got me the lotion. And it's like an amazing little trio. The lotion I didn't like so much because it didn't like sink into the skin. It kind of just laid on top. I didn't like that. And then the balm, I think it dried out. But this I really liked. You just spray it on your pillows. I used to spray it on like the collar of my shirts that I'd sleep in. I'd spray it on the pillow that I sleep with because I sleep on my side. So I sleep with like a a body pillow. I love it sprayed on your blankets. It's just, not that it actually did anything, but it did feel like soothing. I loved using this when I was also using my Lush Sleepy Lotion. I love a good lavender for bed. I liked it for the aesthetic and it just smelled good. So it was a win-win. Is the Dossier Aromatic Pineapple Fragrance. Now this is one that I had gotten for my husband a while ago, like years at this point. Because he is a man that stands by using a Degree deodorant spray as a fragrance. And like, don't get me wrong, it smelled good. But I wanted to give him something a little more upgraded for like date night and going to events and things like that. So we got him one from Dossier. And this retailed, I think, for $29, which nothing is over, I think, like a $50 price point. But I will say Dossier is really good about fragrances inspired by popular fragrances at a fraction of the price. And they put the notes right on the bottle, which is really nice if you're getting into fragrance. It's a great way to get into it. So that's why I got one for my husband, because I already was familiar with Dossier. But this one in particular, I bought it kind of on a whim for him, because I know for most men, amberwood, cedarwood are usually good like base notes to go for. I still wanted something that was a bit younger, so I got him something with more fruity top notes. So the notes go, top notes are bergamot, ginger, pineapple. Middle notes are clary, sage, geranium, juniper berry. Base notes are amberwood, cedarwood, and olibanum. Olibanum. I don't know what that is. He really, really liked this. I liked it. I will say, I think next time we should get him something a little bit more woody or a little bit more warm. He really enjoyed it. And then the reason it's finished is because he left it here for me when he went overseas and I was spraying it every night on my pillow to go to sleep. Dossier is a win in my book. And this one, though it's good, I do want to find him something different, but we will be going back to Dossier. So let's break down totals and then I will go over a couple products I'm decluttering for various reasons. So I used up a total of 15 products this month and the value of all those products combined was $226 in 1 month. That's amazing. I will say, since I'm just now starting this Empties series, going back, I'll just do a breakdown for you. January, I used up $137 worth of product. February, it was $189. March was $182. April and May, because I forgot to do a month, so I just combined it. That was $446, so roughly, you know, $223 per month. June was only $71. July, I completely missed, so we're just not counting it. August was $315, and then September was $226. So for the first half of the year, January through June, I used up $1,525 worth of product. And then I will then do a grand total at the end of December going into January as far as how much I used up for the entire year, minus July, because I forgot July. But that is insane. When you write it out, like I did, and like you write out every product that you've used up, it really puts into perspective how much money can go into something. And a lot of the value in this is stuff that I had gotten from Ipsy at a discounted price. Though I might not have spent the full retail value to get that product, I'm still counting that retail value as the dollar amount in the usage, because it's going to paint a bigger picture and it makes me more grateful that I was able to get them discounted. I think writing it out this way, also knowing that I buy things on sale or with coupons and stuff, it gives me more like of that dopamine hit, because I know that though it was $1,500 worth of product that I used up, I did not spend that much to get those products. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I used up in the month of September. I do have a couple products that I am decluttering and I want to break that down. I think it's important to include those products just because the reality is things expire, things don't work, things are just old. And though we analyze what we've used up, I think it's important to also reference what you're getting rid of to know, one, why you're getting rid of it, two, So if you want to go back, you can kind of recognize patterns. And then 3, make sure you're not buying the same things over and over. So I don't have a lot of products here. We'll quickly run through them, but let's dive in real quick. So all of this is actually makeup related. I'm going to start off with an easy one. My Danessa Myricks, what is this one? The Rose and Brunch Yummy Skin Blush. This is a beautiful rosy blush. I loved it for a time being. But I have found this is a little too pink. I like a pink blush with a little bit more warmth to it. And though this is still like a warm pink, it's not like, I like a more warm neutral pink, if that makes sense. The other thing is this is about a year old in my collection and there's a lot of grit and grime in it and it's disgusting. And I have also found that I don't like potted cream products. I don't really go for potted creams anymore. And this blush, it was beautiful, but it wasn't like my perfect pink. I actually have it now from LYS. So for that, 3 reasons. It's old, don't like the component, and don't really like the shade for my skin tone. This is the first one I'm getting rid of. The second one is 3 products all in one, but these are all going for the same reason. These are all Morphe liners. They were Morphe times Nyan, which was she is a content creator, I assume. I don't know. I got these in TJ Maxx when I first moved to New York, and that was 2022. And I will be leaving New York in 2025. So these are well old. And when products go to TJ Maxx, usually they're already have been on the shelf for a while. So I'm getting rid of these. All beautiful shades. This beautiful, beautiful pink. I love it. And I will miss that in my collection, maybe. But we'll dive into that. Let me just swatch these for you. They're beautiful shades. Very colorful, very pigmented. Pink, purple, brown. Loved them. This is more like a warm terracotta, and I love this for my lips as well. They all smell like very, very old crayons at the bottom of an old, dingy elementary school crayon box. Like a communal crayon box. You know what I'm talking about? The crayons that are broken into tiny little pieces that no one wants to use. But if you don't get to the crayons fast enough, then that's the ones you're stuck with. And then you just have a depressing time coloring and doing activities. Yeah, that's what this smells like. The very bottom of a very, very old Crayola crayon box. It's disgusting. And I can smell it when I'm trying to put these on my eyes. But the other thing is, and I don't know if you're going to be able to tell. Well, you can definitely tell with the pink and the purple that they are heavily discolored at the base, and then up here you can kind of see it too. That's alarming that they're that old, that they have like light fading from the lights in my room or just from the environment. But yeah, so they smell. I don't really use them. And they are severely faded. That's crazy to me. I've never seen that before, so it's just kind of alarming, even though it's probably not that big of a deal. Now on to some fun ones. I only have 2 more products left. But the first one here is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Beauty Balm. The Serum Boosted Skin Tint. I have the shade 3. And I'm getting rid of this because this is trash. And this is a $40-something product in a deodorant stick form. The other thing is you scroll it up. And for this to be a skin tint, I get the lack of I get less coverage on the skin, but this there's none. One swipe. Where is it? 2 swipes. Where is it? 3 swipes. You can kind of start to see it. 4. There we go. We're getting somewhere. 5. Okay. Kind of to the coverage I want. But what happens if I have pimples or something? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, and it looks like the first 5 swatches. This product does not build up enough. And I will say, 10 swatches, it feels oily, it feels gross, it feels like an oil slick on my hand. But that feeling is there with 2 layers. And there's no way to do just 1 layer of this because it's literally just oil on the skin if you do that. So I don't want it on my face because it doesn't cover anything. And for it to not cover anything, it feels so heavy and cakey and slippy and slidey, and no amount of mattifying primer and no amount of setting powder helps it. Or if anything, it makes it worse somehow. But this product is not worth it. And again, I don't even want my worst enemy to have it. And then last thing, which this one's kind of alarming, but it's the Danessa Myricks Groundworks palette. This palette retails for $65. I got it during the VIB sale last year, and it's growing mold. I will insert pictures for you because you won't be able to see it on camera, but it also smells god-awful. If you don't know, this palette, the larger pans are pomades, the smaller pans are powders, and the ideal behind this palette, which I loved the vision behind it. So the ideal is that you have all these very neutral shades in here to do almost essentially a full face. You can do your eyebrows, you can do liner, you can do bronzer, you can do contour, you can do eyeshadow, you can do a little bit of blush if you want something, a little bit of warmth on the skin. You can mix and match. You can just mix them all. This was in theory beautiful, and I get the vision for a makeup artist. And the reason I wanted this was because I wanted something that was going to be my bronzer, my contour, all my eyeshadow, my brows, all in one. And while I enjoyed this when it worked for me, it went bad very, very fast. I want to say I started noticing things 6 months into owning it, which is insane. And I knew when I bought this palette, I was like, if there are pomade textures in here and there's no airtight seal, then environmental aggressors and weather are going to affect this so much more. And sure enough, that is what happened. So let me break it down, and you'll see pictures in order of how I'm talking about them. But the shade Core here, this orange, this is the first shade I noticed having issues. I was looking at it and I was like, how did I get glitter in there? Because it was just tiny white little specks, and I thought it was just glitter from like an eyeshadow or something. I started noticing that the flecks were popping out of the product. So I was like, that's not glitter. I don't know what that is, but that is not glitter. And now, if I turn it this way, I can see them just rising on out. And then the shade next to it, these two shades here, Harvest and Bark. Harvest has this really weird, like, crystallized, it's the same white dust or mold in here, in this shade Core, but it's almost like they're, like, crystallized on top. It's really weird, but there's definitely a, like, white fuzz going on at like this end, this edge of the pan. And then Bark, the one that has this pan in it, if I turn it right like this, you can see where the product is kind of like, you can kind of see it right there, this like white going on. Again, I'll have a picture for you somewhere on the screen, but there is an entire white fuzz. It's almost like a white peach fuzz growing over the top of this. It's disgusting. And then the other really bad shade is this shade Mirage. And this one, I was like, oh, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with that. Wrong. If you put this in the light, it's like a freaking disco ball, the amount of white specks popping out of it. And then I turn it to the side and there's just a complete white layer of dust of this like mold or whatever just directly over top. It's so disgusting, and it's alarming that it's just those like 4 shades that I've noticed it. And there was a part of me that's like, well, you can pop them out and I can just get rid of those shades. But the reality is I got this all at the same time. So chances are all of them are growing something in it that it shouldn't, but those 4 are just the ones that are more obvious now. And if I held on to this palette, I'm sure all of them would start showing similarities. It's downright disgusting, and I wish that this palette lasted longer than it did. There was a part of me that's like, well, what if I just toss all the pomades and buy new ones? But you can't. You can't buy new shades for this yet because they don't exist. So the other option was, well, what if I just toss all the pomades and keep all the eyeshadows? But then I'm like, that's just going to make me mad. And I don't really like the shadows without the pomades. So it was just, it's baffling. And it's disgusting. And I've never had a palette grow mold like this. But I knew it could happen because it's pomades. But yeah, I didn't think it would happen that fast. It's very unfortunate because I loved the idea of this palette. I was so excited about it. And obviously, I really liked it. There's some pans going on in here. But yeah, it's downright disgusting. And hopefully the pictures capture what I'm talking about. But this, I'm not giving this to anyone. This is going in the garbage. Well, recycling. I'm cleaning out all the pans and then I will recycle the packaging. But yeah, that's everything I'm decluttering. Okay, guys, let's just wrap this up. This is a little bit longer, but again, I like videos like this. I want to include them because I want things to be realistic and practical on this channel as well as fun and entertaining. So I hope you enjoyed this one. More importantly though, I want to know what your thoughts are on this kind of content. I definitely want to upload a little bit more thoughtful content that's not just like, oh, let me buy a bunch of makeup and just do a haul, even though those are entertaining. I just want to make sure that there's this fine balance between fun and entertaining stuff and the consumption of stuff and like talking about products that are released and seeing like, you know, ooh, I want this, or ooh, no. That's all fine and dandy, right? But the other side of roasting products is the reality is that there's so many products that I want. There are so many products I already have. There's so many products I'm currently using up, and I want to make sure that I shed a light on that too, because I think beauty is such a fine balance, right? In various ways. So definitely be prepared to see more content like this. I'm kind of excited to show my empties and stuff. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you haven't already, go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment. Do all those fun things down below. I would greatly appreciate it. And I think I'm gonna hop off because it's definitely like 1 in the morning and I'm yawning and coughing and I want to go to bed. I want to get this eyeshadow look off. But anyways, I guess without further ado, I hope you have a great day, night, whenever you're watching this, and I am sure I'll see you in another one. So bye.